So welcome to, I suppose really you could call it part 3 of talking about bar chords. I've done a couple of previous videos, one being on the E shape, one being on our A shape, and now it's time to look at a third chord shape. Now this is actually one chord shape, although bizarrely a lot of people like to make it two. I don't understand why you'd want to do that. That seems to be making a lot of work for yourself. So this is a C-shaped bar chord. Now C-shaped bar chord, in a sense we've got the jump on this, because we know about A-shaped bar chords, then we're going to know where our root notes and the names of the chords therefore are going to be. So C, D, E, F, G, A. Now although the C-shaped chord positionally is completely different from an A shape, the root is still on the 5th string. So this is one of those situations, isn't it? We've got an E shape here and we've got an A shape here, both of them creating a chord of E. So it's very important to distinguish between when you're talking about a shape and when you're talking about a chord. So this is an A shape but gives us an E chord. This is an E shape giving us an E chord. Now, wouldn't it be nice if there was something in between? Well, there is. There's this. If you look here, the root note's in the same position as it was for the other chord. Now this is hugely useful, and well, hugely useful would be understating it really. Very useful with scales, very useful with chord connections and all sorts of things. So okay, so this is our C-shaped chord. Now it's a bar chord, but then it is and it isn't. If you want to put something under the root, so you've got the octave of the first string here, it's a bit sugary if you want to do that, to be honest. Probably better like that, unless it's moving. Something like that, okay. So your bar finger really only needs to be across 3 strings. And a big mistake people make, this very, very hard work. You know, it's always very important with bar chords is to be aware of, you know, what strings you need to hold down, what ones you don't. Now, there are variations on this in the same way as there are with the A-shaped chords, but the very first thing I want to do is just to put away a complete myth. Okay, this is a chord of D, right? Often described as a D shape, or even in the, I think, appropriately named caged system, which to me just makes a lot of work for people. I'm going to talk more about that as we go along. But okay, so this is the D. Now allegedly this is a completely different shape from anything else. Well, it's not, is it? It's just the top. It's just the top. It's the top bit of a C shape. So we don't really need to carry around twice as much info, do we? Doesn't help. Okay. The more time your brain is spending working out stuff, or what the square root of this chord is, and blah 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 blah, the less time you've got to listen to what you're playing, and that's what we're dealing with. We're dealing with sound. We're not dealing with mathematics here. Okay, there's a lot of stuff you can do moving around this C chord. Once we get past the D, the alleged next shape, so we've got E here. Really useful for that sort of stuff. Stuff like that as well. So okay, so that's E, that's F, that's G, and that's A. Okay, and again this A chord here is very handy. You've got this nice stretch, nice sort of range I should say, between the bass note and the top, especially if we use the open string, which is very nice. It's also very close to our A shape. Okay, so that's C-shaped bar chords for you. Now, again, as I said in the other 2 videos, don't sit there trying to memorise chords. You know, say, oh well, you know, great. What's this? Okay, so we've got an E7, raised 9, raised 5. Fantastic. What's the point of it? There isn't any point to it, unless I'm playing it in a song. Other than that, what am I going to do with it? Well, I could say I know how to play an E7, raised 5, raised 9 chord, or I could, you know, impress people at parties. I guess what chord I. But the point is, if you don't use it in a song, there's no point in clogging your head up with it. So learn a song which uses some of those chord shapes. And so on and so forth. Anyway, look, I hope you've enjoyed that. There'll be more to come on chord shapes. It's a big subject, but with the right approach, it can be actually very easy to deal with. And in my view, that's the way to deal with it. So, if you could click the subscribe button, that would be great. And I look forward to seeing you in the next video. Bye for now.